And I've pointed this out. I live here in Atlanta. We're always building something here in Atlanta. And one day I was driving downtown and it hit me. I saw an apartment that they were building off the highway and I could see it. And I noticed this was the backside of the apartment building that they were building. They had a pool, really nice pool area. They had a nice little dog park and they had a parking deck. And I noticed something. I said, you know what they don't have?
A playground.
A playground. And I started paying attention because there's several of them here in Atlanta. So you can see they don't build playgrounds anymore. And it's almost as if they don't expect there to be children.
Oh.
They build dog parks.
What part of Atlanta is this? I would be curious to see, like, is that
a very affluent part?
I don't live in
75, 75 South going right into the city, right there off of Howell Mill.
Okay, so
look at the apartments.
Would this be more of the how do we say it? The
the less melanated?
Well, no. Would this be more of the?
Yes.
No.
I
mean, there's that aspect. That's not where I was talking about. I mean, there's a section of town that we could probably go investigate that too, I'm sure. But it's sad to say, this was I hate to say there's probably going to be more playgrounds in that area because a lot of those areas are established neighborhoods, so they've got grandfathered in playgrounds. But if they're building something new, they don't generally have playgrounds. I mean, it's almost as if they don't want there to be little people.
I think it kind of goes along with, so I've never lived in Atlanta, but I kind of understand what's happened there over, I don't know, maybe the last 2 decades. When you have such a population that is hyper educated, that is upward mobility, the guppies, all of that, they tend to have children much later or not at all. So I wonder if it's like
that's my point.
I don't know if it's what came first. Are they just accommodating the types of people that tend to move there, or are they trying to implement send subliminal messages like there's no playground here, so we don't want these little snot-nosed little kids running around.
I'm gonna go with plan B. Playing the second option because I've lived here long enough. I've seen it, and they used to have playgrounds.
That's an interesting observation.
Or community parks and such of that nature. I mean, we have a ton of dog parks.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just look, even go around and again, I don't want to go too far off, but if you just go around your normal little strip mall, you don't see a whole bunch of little gyms and Kumans and dance studios. You see pet stores, pet grooming, pet fashion, dog. I mean, you see a lot of that stuff.
Let me tell you, in Los Angeles, I lived there for a while. We had pet gourmet bakeries.
I'm sure.
We have that.
Yeah.
Which I did go to. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, we're kind of cultivated. We're like, what is it? I know we're below replacement level as I think it's the entire West at this point. So, I wonder if it's like, well, they're not having babies, so why spend the extra money to build the playground? There's not going to be, and you know what? Like, kids just don't even want to play outside anymore. So I wonder, it's probably like a mix of reality and this expectation, of people not, having as many children, because that's just not normal.
If you live in blue cities, you'll find this phenomenon all over. And what it is if you look at the building industry, what happens is there are so many regulations regarding building that it is cost prohibitive for developers to build single family homes. That is not accidental. So they're not getting this population of people, because you can go other places where they have no problem building single family homes. Yet in many cities they do, and particularly places where where Democrats are in charge, because they implement the same types of, they're beholden to the same environmental lobbies and all other types of lobbies. And it is very difficult to have a family in a place where there's no space for an actual family. So they are designing spaces so that they're not conducive to family life on purpose, because what they're unwilling to do, and this is in the most generous interpretation, if you don't think this is based on pure maniacal evil, the generous interpretation is that they're unwilling to trade their environmental values and other liberal, carry woke values on behalf of cultivating an environment where families can thrive. That's a generous look at it. A more sinister look at it is absolutely a plan to socially engineer society away from families.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Have you
agree. I think it's a mix. Yeah.
Have you guys heard the acronym DINK? DINKS?
Yes.
It's
I
double
haven't.
income, no kids.
Yeah.
That's a trend now.
Yeah.
Hashtag dink.
Is that supposed to be like a big up? Like they are like that's cool to be a dink?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And go where they want, spend the money that they want. It's like disposable income, no kids. Or dual income, no kids.
Yeah, double income, no kids. They love to post. I mean, I've seen a lot of lifestyle kind of posts on TikTok or X or Instagram. I'm not on TikTok, but I see TikTok other places. That's how ubiquitous it is.
Yeah.
But they post all those videos about, this is the life of a dink. It's so great. And it makes me sad. It makes me scared for younger women, I guess I'd put it that way, because this panel discussion is called Did Feminism Lie to Us? And I've been trying to figure out how to talk about this more, which honestly, it scares me a little bit, because I'm not trying to say I'm not any kind of victim of feminism. I made my choices, and some of them were bad choices, but I definitely was influenced by feminism, by woke ideology. I definitely bought into, I was deceived by a lot of it. And so I would like to start talking more to young women about what that deception was.
Yes.
Because if I could change some things about choices I made, I bought into that dink lifestyle for a while before we had a cool acronym. But we, I bought into that, and I didn't find Christ until my early 40s. And my husband and I are at an age where we would like to have a family, and we're going through all the things you go through when you're there's also this aspect of the kind of incel, hateful, woke right guys who are just like, that's what you get, like you hit the wall. And so talking about it and being honest about your struggles in the hopes of helping other younger women avoid those struggles is a little scary, because, people are going to be mean, but it is what it is. And we're trying to figure that out right now. And I believe in a God who does miracles. So why not us?
God's will be done. Yes, God's will be done.
Amen. Listen, I don't think we talk about the spiritual aspect of our God enough. So yes, he is a miracle working God. He is a God that talks to us. I was just talking about this on my channel. So I am with you, and I will be praying with you guys that you bring some more babies into this world. What I will say is that with this whole idea of like the dink, that to me automatically sounds like a female-led idea, because what man doesn't want to procreate? Like it's very rare that men don't want their seed to be seen. Men typically, Jason, this is a good, you can chime in,
jump in
please.
on this.
But men are not really, they're not wired that way to think, oh, we can just have the money and not the babies, because men are more wired, I'm making the money for the babies. Like family is a driver for men. So if I hear a man talking about I'm a dink, I'm like, you're
a dink. You really are.
You're
dinky.
Right. I think it's fair to say that most men, most men don't honestly think about the fullness of building a family when they meet some young lady at the club or whatever like that, or some new little hot things that you see them at the coffee shop. That's not what they're thinking about. When God opens up their eyes and they realize like, hey, I'm taking on responsibility. And, like I just celebrated my 24th anniversary this past weekend. And, every year we joke about, hey, am I getting a contract extension? What's going on? Like, what's happening? Do I get another year? What we got? We've determined like, look, we'll just go ahead and give you a permanent contract extension. And we'll just let you know if you do some performance reviews or something. But it does take a level of maturing to get to the point to say, you know what, I'm going to be with this woman. I want to raise little people. I want them to know me in the house, all that kind of stuff like that. And matter of fact, a little side note, my wife and I were sitting on the couch Sunday. I told you all I had a friend of mine who he and his wife got married and divorced again, and they remarried this past Sunday.
Okay.
Crazy. It is a wild story, and I'll have to tell you about this story. But shout out to them. I just talked to him. It's my college roommate. And, we were talking about the fact that our daughter, who's in college, literally calls us all the time. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, you do realize that most people don't have the relationship that we have with our kids. We've given them great experiences, and they have experiences that rival their white counterparts. All right. So we're not even talking about this just being ethnic, but I said, you do realize, and at the end of the day, they know that they really do have good parents that really care about them. Mm-hmm. And by God's grace, and that's why Big Girl calls us 3 times a day. She calls me 3 times a day. She calls my wife 3 times a day. She calls her sister 8 times a day. And I'm like, are you with your friends? Talk to your friends.
You said,
well, right. She puts me on the phone with her friends to talk to her friends. Like, girl, go do stuff. Aww. But why is that? Because we've created a great environment. So to the point that you're making, not everybody does that. And I'm not mad at them, but it's by God's grace. Because I wasn't shown that when I was coming up. Shout out to James and Belinda. Y'all did the best you could. Okay. Yeah. But I wasn't shown that. So so to the point that you're making, Keisha, it does take I believe, a revelation by God to understand the role that I hold in this family and what I do in this family and how this family moves and such like that. I know you liked that episode. This is actually a clip from a larger live stream. The link is down in the description, so you can go check it out. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you down there. Grace and peace.